Hello everybody and welcome back! This last weekend we witnessed an amazing game between Manchester United and Liverpool, and I wondered, can I actually achieve the chaos of what Man United were in that game in FM24? Can I create a tactic to replicate how Man United were attacking and defending in that game? So, let's try it out. Okay, so how are we doing this? I just started a new save, and it was a Manchester United one. And simulated everything up to the first Liverpool encounter, which happens to be home, which is absolutely cool. We've won quite a lot of games so far. We're first in the Premier League using my favorite strikerless 4-3-3, so no surprises there. Now, I have set as a secondary tactic so that they're kind of familiar with the shape, the 4-2-1-2-1, because I was not really sure whether we have to use Bruno Fernandes as a roaming playmaker or as an attacking midfielder. I think that what he was playing in that game was more of a roaming playmaker role, so the first try is gonna be like this. Now, before we continue, I want us to actually have a look at the average positions. This is a graphic by The Athletic, and first thing we see is that Rafael Varane was playing a bit to the left. Victor Lindelof was playing a little bit central as well because Thiago Dalot was inverting, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka was playing ultra high. I think this is due to his personal marking of Mohamed Salah, and when he was coming backwards, Aaron Wan-Bissaka was just chasing him. Kobbie Mainoo playing a bit deeper than Scott McTominay, who is not as high up the pitch as I expected. Now, Bruno Fernandes so much to the left, I'm not really sure. Maybe this is due to the extra time and the switching positions. Marcus Rashford wide to the left as well. This is his usual position, I think. Alejandro Garnacho is a bit central, but I feel that he was rotated quite a lot within the game. But the more interesting thing is that Rasmus Højlund's position is even more to the right than Alejandro Garnacho's. So, keeping this in mind, let's jump back to FM. And let's start from the back. Now, the keeper. Andre Onana was playing definitely sweeper keeper on attack. According to the description, this means that the sweeper keeper will travel some distance outside his area and be happy to move out with the ball at his feet. He was doing that. He was distributing with his left and his right further forward, so this is absolutely fine. Now, I'm pretty sure that both defenders should be ball-playing defenders because they were quite heavily involved in the build-up. And the weird thing here, now, Diogo Dalot, what is he gonna be playing? Inverted fullback or inverted wingback? I'm not quite sure which one. The inverted fullback should theoretically be a bit deeper. He should be on the same line with the ball-playing defenders. Therefore, I think that inverted wingback is probably the position I should be using. So, inverted wingback on support. Let's start there. Now, Aaron Wan-Bissaka was super weird. Wingback on support, maybe? Wingback on support, but he's inverted, so this is tough. I'm not really sure whether we can replicate his average position. Okay, let's start with wingback on attack. And he's also gonna get an instruction to mark specific player. So he's gonna be marking specifically Mohamed Salah. Okay, now, Scott McTominay. I'm pretty sure he's playing Segundo Volante, but is he playing Segundo Volante on support or Segundo Volante on attack? I'm gonna say Segundo Volante on support. And with Kobbie Mainoo, it's gonna be even tougher. Now, was he playing a deep-lying playmaker? Was he playing a ball-winning midfielder? Was he playing a defensive midfielder? I'm not really sure. Maybe we should start with deep-lying playmaker on support. I'm not quite sure this is gonna replicate what he was doing, but we're gonna check it out. Marcus Rashford definitely playing an inside forward on attack. And on the right, we're gonna be having Alejandro Garnacho. He, I'd say, is playing a winger on attack. And Rasmus Højlund position, I'm gonna put him in the channel. And he's gonna be a complete forward on support. What are we gonna do with Bruno Fernandes now? His average position was too much to the left. I'm not really sure how we're gonna replicate that. Maybe, just maybe, we can do a central midfielder on attack. Initially I said roaming playmaker on support, because he's roaming quite a lot, but a central midfielder on attack, or maybe even playing somewhere here as an attacking playmaker on support. Let's try this. Let's try playing him here as advanced playmaker on support and see where this gets us. Now, individual instructions. I'm gonna say, yeah, cut inside is definitely something that we need. Everything here seems fine. Bruno Fernandes. Oh, shoot less often is definitely not for him. He should have roam from position, move into channels, run wide with ball. With the advanced playmaker and support, we don't get the shoot more often. Maybe we should switch it then. For his freedom on the pitch, I'd usually use a trequartista. But in this game, I don't really feel like he was playing a trequartista. So maybe I can do something like... By the way, what he was doing was kind of a mezzala in terms of average position, but I cannot replicate it like that. So if I do a central midfielder on attack, what's going to happen? Central midfielder on attack, get further forward, move into channels. Yeah, that's fine. Roam from position, definitely. Passing directness, more direct passing. That's Bruno Fernandes. Shoot more often. Dribble more. Should I say dribble more? Is he dribbling too much? Nah, not really. Take more risks, definitely. That's Bruno Fernandes. Kobe Mainu. Cold position, take fewer risks, and shoot less often. Alejandro Garnacho. Dribble more, cross more often, cross from byline, get further forward. I'm not really sure about the... Yeah, stay wider. I don't like to stay wider, and I cannot remove it. That's annoying. Then I'm gonna add roam from position, because he does. Cut inside with the ball, I think as well. Shoot more often. Definitely. Let's keep it like that. With complete forward here, hold the ball, dribble more, take more risks, move into channels, roam from position. Yeah, I pretty much like these. I'm not really sure about dribble more, but I think we cannot remove it, so we're gonna stick with it. For our segundo volante, which is gonna be Scott McTominay. Any specific instructions? Move into channels and get further forward. And unfortunately, I think he should have take more risks. Shoot more often. He likes to shoot. Take more risks. Should I remove the take more risks? Nah, I really don't feel that in this game Scott McTominay was taking too many risks, so I feel that this could be okay. Now, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Ultra weird. Should we add something else? Tackle harder and mark tighter. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Cross less often. Stronger right foot on this side. He was definitely not crossing. He's not even one crossing generally. Take fewer risks. Shoot less often. And I'd say dribble less. Stay wider, maybe? Yeah, stay wider. Let's try it with stay wider. And Diogo Dalot. I think he generally is a good tackler. And he is tackling harder where he has to. So I'm gonna add this. Now, let's pick the team. Okay, we've picked the team and we even managed to replicate the reserves. But before we move on, the most important part. Let's do the tactical instructions. And, of course, we're gonna start with mentality. Mentality, I think positive is fine. Although maybe attacking is more appropriate, but... Let's move on. In possession, pass into space, let's say slightly more direct. Tempo is slightly higher, I'm fine with that. Creative freedom, I'd say be more expressive. Now in transition, counter press and counter attack. Neither distribute quickly, neither slow pace down. Now take short kicks, not really. Distribute to center backs, no. I really feel that Andre Onana has a really solid amount of freedom to pick and choose his passes. So I'm not going to select any of these. Now here comes the interesting part. Why? Because Man United, in this game, they had this ultra stretched formation where there was actually no midfield. And it was a front five and a back five with a huge gaping hole in the middle. Now, how do we replicate this? I'd say standard defensive line with ultra high press. Definitely trigger and press much more often and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. I saw a couple of instances where they were chasing down the goalkeeper, so definitely prevent short goalkeeper distribution. I'd say get stuck in. The defensive line was though stepping up more. Now, one of the interesting things. They definitely were trying to trap them outside. This was their plan. They were like, we're gonna sit tight at the back, so we're gonna have a back four. We're gonna be trying to push them out and hopefully get some time for the other players to come back. So this looks okay-ish. I'd say let's switch Wan-Bissaka back to support and Scott McTominay on attack. And this way, I think that when we're getting hit on the counter, we're gonna have this disconnect between attacking players and defensive players. Okay, let's go and try it out in the game. Now, I have done absolutely nothing to affect their starting 11, so it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But we're looking more towards replicating the way that Manchester United were playing, so I think this is gonna be fine. First skylight. Okay, Wan-Bissaka. McTominay for Garnacho. Yeah, looks like something that Garnacho would do on the right side. Crossing it. Bruno Fernandes lurking there. Yeah, Dalot inverting. That's pretty correct. This shot from Garnacho. I don't really know. Okay, pressing high. I like this. Who's this guy running around? Bruno Fernandes. Okay. Makes sense. Running a lot, but not very effective in the press. Garnacho, he's gonna cross it again, right? Nah, he cuts in more. I've not seen him cross it from there. Yeah, unfortunately here, Liverpool are not aggressive enough. I like it, I like it. I like the position where Dalot was to assist Højlund. Seemed pretty accurate to me. Isn't he too far forward? It's a good run, but he's too far forward, I think. Do we have the disconnect between defense and attack? Kinda. They should be stretched a bit more, I think. But this is a set of defense, so I think that Wan-Bissaka is too far forward, but otherwise I won't be able to replicate his defensive position. Yeah, this is the position where Wan-Bissaka was in the slow build-up phase. Bruno Fernandes, yeah, he's to the left, I like it. Rashford trying to cut in again. McTominay for Garnacho, okay, this looks realistic, I like it. Okay, so yeah, looks okay as a shape. I still feel like Wan-Bissaka is getting too far forward, but we're trying to replicate his average position, so... Whoa, Kobe Mainoo trying to shoot from there. Okay, that's not happening. That's not happening. Okay, let's have a look at the average positions here. First of all, Wan-Bissaka is not that high up the pitch. Diogo Dalot cut and gain is kinda accurate. Bruno Fernandes is too deep. He's too deep. So, what can we do? What can we do? And after this, I gave it a shot a couple more times with moving people around, and eventually I found out that to replicate what Højlund was doing and replicate his average position, he should be playing as a deep lying forward. I tried Wan-Bissaka and other changes, but honestly, there is no fun in looking at the footage anymore. I feel like that what you're currently looking at the screens right now is the close representation to average positions that I could get to, but check out my final thoughts. Alright, so this is the final tactic that we used. Kobe Mainoo as an anchor and Wan-Bissaka as a complete wingback on attack with much lower defensive line and high press and high line of engagement. So, is this the most realistic one? Not really. I don't really feel that Wan-Bissaka would ever be playing as a complete wingback. I'm pretty sure his average position was affected by other things. We couldn't replicate what Garnacho and Højlund were doing, but I feel like Garnacho was playing even as a striker at some point, maybe in the extra time. So maybe the last attempt was closest to the average positions that we saw, but I feel like that the first try and the first instructions that we used were closest to replicating what Man United were doing in that game, and it's definitely fun. Let me know what you think down below. Is there a better way to replicate it? I would love to know, and see you next time. Bye bye.